Well, oh my goodness, what do you have to say about what happened today at the ATP Finals? What happened was Nadal and Djokovic lost to Medvedev and Thiem respectively. The bigger story is how they lost and what I believe it means for the future of tennis going forward. We're going to take a look at both of these matches, what Thiem and Medvedev have been doing right, and take a look at the final coming up. But wow, big time stories, big time tennis was played today. I still can't believe it. Here's the slice.
So I don't have many bagels.
Welcome to the slice.
Welcome to the slice.
Welcome to the slice.
Well, folks, thanks for being here. I mean, how could you not want to be here after what we saw today? We have to talk about it, break it down, and figure out what went down because it was amazing. First of all, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000. You're a part of it. Thank you so much. Giveaway at 10,000. And as always, thank you to our sponsors. Bear Mountain, we were just up there today. Amazing facility. Womo Sport, made in America tennis gear, the best quality you could ever get. And Courtside Sports, get new tennis gear, brand new releases for a discount. It's a no-brainer. Support the sponsors. Support the show. Appreciate you. So what happened today? We had Daniil Medvedev beat Nadal for the first time in their format. This was their fourth match. Daniil Medvedev came through, and we had Thiem beat Djokovic in eerily similar fashion to how he did it last year at the ATP Finals. Now, as you know, we're all big tennis fans here, Slice fans and myself. There's backstory to each of these matchups and why they happened, how they happened, and I'm going to try and dig into a little bit of that right now. But the biggest story I think of today was that Nadal and Djokovic lost, and they didn't play badly. They weren't injured. There's no excuse for them. They both had the ability to win the match. Nadal was serving for the match at 5-4 up a break in the second set, and Djokovic was up 4-0 in the third set tiebreaker. They both poised to win this, and these next generation, I don't know if you want to consider Team Next Generation, these players were able to come back and win the matches in pretty amazing fashion, playing amazing tennis. We've known that Medvedev, Thiem, Tsitsipas, Zverev are capable of amazing tennis, but I don't think until now we've been able to count on them bringing it in the biggest moments in these matches like they did today. So I think we're in almost like a different sphere. So what happened? The first match of the day was Dominic Thiem versus Novak Djokovic. Now, what I said in the preview to this, which I had on Patreon for the front row people, is, you know, what happened last year. I feel like the Thiem was a more aggressive player. He had more power on the hard court, and Novak Djokovic was reacting a lot. And obviously, it was a super close match last year. Djokovic was up 4-1 in the tiebreak, the match deciding tiebreak, and Thiem was able to come back. Would that affect him this year? Djokovic even said in the press conference after his semifinal, he said, "I hope to have another amazing match with Thiem, but I can't. But I hope for an alternate outcome, obviously." But what happened today was the same thing. So it started off going Thiem's way. I tuned in at the beginning of the second set, and then Thiem had 4 match points after playing great. He's the more powerful player at this point in his career, and he's the younger, more springy athlete, as I've talked about before. So Djokovic always seemed to be holding on in this match, but he wasn't playing. It was pretty close, like neck and neck. Thiem, though, had 4 match points in the second set near the end, didn't convert them. Djokovic came back, made it to a tiebreaker, and then he won the tiebreaker, as he normally seems to do. So we're thinking, oh my gosh, Djokovic has all the momentum coming into this final set. Is he going to be able to just run away with this? And then we saw, no, Thiem didn't go away. Even when he got pressed, he had to fend off a couple break points in that third set. He didn't cave. He didn't break, which is different. We used to see the big 3 guys be able to put the rest of everyone off their game, make them play not the way they want to play, make them play from an insecure place, whatever. And so in the big moments, we would just expect the big 3 to win. And I think the other guys expected or didn't feel like they should win. I feel like we saw in Thiem's match today that when the big moments came, break point for him, whatever, break point for Djokovic, he felt like he could, should, and would win those points. So I think there was a total different mentality in the match today. I felt like Thiem had total belief. He knew he could close it out when he did. And, you know, he just ended, after not closing it out in the second set, came back with confidence, closed it out in the third set. I was watching the last tiebreak, 4-0 down. I just had the feeling that it wasn't over. 4-1, and then it was, and then Thiem just started hitting huge balls. Djokovic said afterwards, he said, he just started going basically beast mode. And what do you do? It's like, well, I don't know. But that level that we talked about from Thiem, when he plays his best, again, I think it's the best on tour right now. I don't know how else you could say that. Like other guys redline, but it seems we saw Thiem versus Nadal in the first match, they both played really good at different points, but Thiem's really good was just a little bit better. And Thiem's really good today was definitely too much for Djokovic, it looked like. So Djokovic is out of the tournament. Then we go over to Medvedev versus Nadal. Side note, we reviewed Medvedev's racket, the T fight from Technofiber. Shout out. Link up here. They sent it to us. Check out the video. Put lots of effort into that one. It looks pretty crisp. You want to check out how my backhand's looking? Take a look at that video. So anyways, Medvedev has never beaten Nadal. They played 3 times, but they had a very close, obviously, encounter at the 2018 US Open final. Medvedev almost got it done. And I always felt like Medvedev could have the game to beat Nadal. And I said at the beginning on Twitter, follow us on Twitter if you're not, I said, if Medvedev plays the way he did against Djokovic today against Nadal, I can't see him losing. I don't think he played as well today as he did against Djokovic when he played. He didn't serve as good. He wasn't as clean today, but maybe Nadal played better than Djokovic. It's hard to actually tell that. But the thing is, Nadal was in the driver's seat. He won the first set. He came from behind the second set to then serve for the match at 5-4. Wasn't able to do it. Nadal was asked about, did the pressure affect you in this stage? Basically asking, how did you lose the match at that point? He got broken at love in that game, if I'm not mistaken. I wasn't actually able to. I had to leave for a bit of that point. And he said, "I don't get to use after all I've achieved in my career. I don't get to use pressure as an excuse anymore." Is what he said, which is kind of crazy. So it just doesn't really say much. But I'm looking at Medvedev, who has his back up against the ropes, who a lot of other times we might see get mentally out of it and just fade away, being like, oh, I'm playing one of the greatest ever. How could you expect me to win? I feel like these guys are like, no, I expect to win. Even if I'm losing, I can come back and win. Because these guys don't scare them anymore. That's another one of the big themes in here. I don't think Nadal, Djokovic, or Federer scare the next generation anymore. And yeah, so Medvedev was able to come back and just honestly run Nadal into the ground. And by the end of that match, Nadal was not looking super fit and young anymore. That's a fact. He's not young anymore. But I think, like I said in the last video, the age is getting to these guys. Medvedev, Thiem, they're not scared of these guys anymore, and it's a big deal. Now, how big of a deal is it? Because I know the critics are saying, well, this isn't Grand Slams. They're not getting it done in Grand Slams. Well, actually, they are getting it done in Grand Slams. Thiem was 0-3 in his first 3 Grand Slam finals because he played Nadal at the French, Djokovic at the Australian Open. You can't find better players on those surfaces ever in the history of tennis. So you could say there's a little bit of bad luck there for Thiem in his first 3. But then, during that, he was able to beat Djokovic twice at the French Open. He beat Nadal at the Australian Open. So he has beat these guys in the majors, just not in finals yet. And I think next time that we see these guys meet, if they ever do again in a Grand Slam final, there'll be a very different vibe coming from Thiem's side of the court, because I think he just absolutely believes he can win now. Very interesting stat I saw from TSH Tennis today. Thiem in his last 7 matches against the big 3 has winning records: 5-2 against Federer, 5-2 against Djokovic, and 4-3 against Nadal. What do you say to that? Is Dominic Thiem the best player on planet Earth right now? It's very easy to argue. There was only 3 majors this year, and he won one of them. Djokovic won one of them. Nadal won one of them. 2021 could be the absolute year of Dominic Thiem, and I'm stoked to see it. I said this before. I don't think anyone works harder than Dominic Thiem. He's been putting work in for so long, and it's totally paying off now. I think when he beat Nadal this week, it looked like he totally believed he could when the big moments came up. And that's what it always comes down to. The big 3 were able to play better than everyone else in the big moments and just consistently win, dominating mentally, and especially in those big moments. That's changed now. Thiem feels like he can win when he's got match point, when he's down match point against Nadal, against Djokovic, and against Federer. It doesn't matter. Thiem, he's a monster. He's officially in that stratosphere of those players, and I think it is a big deal. The critics, again, will say, oh, this is the 4th year in a row that the big 3 haven't done well at the ATP Finals. We had Dimitrov win in 2017, Zverev win in 2018, Stefanos Tsitsipas win in 2019, beating Zverev in the final. And now we got another year-end final where it didn't work out for the big three. Oh, it's because they're tired, because they're old. Well, this year they don't have the excuse to be tired. There wasn't enough tennis played for that to happen. So I think they've slowed down a little bit. The next gen have gotten better, and I think they're all on the same playing field now. And I think 2021 is going to be very interesting. So that's my thoughts. A lot of things there. Sorry, a lot of talking. What do you guys think about what I said? Let me know in the comment section below. You always will. We got the finals, Medvedev versus Thiem. Who's my pick right now? I got to go with Thiem. I've got to go with Thiem. I don't know. But Medvedev also is on a crazy winning streak. I think 11 matches in a row. So the last time they played was at the U.S. Open. Thiem won pretty solidly. If he can play his game tomorrow and not be tired, I think he's going to win. He's just the man right now. And I honestly hope he wins because he lost in the final last year. I feel like this could really put a pin on the amazing year that Thiem has had, becoming a Grand Slam champion and really elevating himself into the very highest level of men's tennis. So we'll see tomorrow. That was a slice on what went down today. I think that's all I have to say about it. Thanks for being here. Subscribe, check out the links below, and check out our review of Daniil Medvedev's racket. That should be popping up on the screen right here. Thanks, guys.